Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez and you're watching my YouTube channel, Nicholas Montez. Welcome back to another YouTube channel video, everybody. I'm so excited to have y'all back here together again. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing the ranking of all 10 episodes of Monsters at Work. And let's get started. So for me, I think that this episode was just a dumb waste of time. It was kind of clever, as this show's all about humor, and it has some clever stuff with the machine kind of being out of control and stuff. And then you have this, like, it's just so weird, and for me it comes in last place because of the weirdness it is. Now, this was an episode I was actually very excited for because I really wanted to see the Abominable Snowman coming back into this show, because I was like, they can't do this show without the Abominable Snowman, so they have to find a way to bring him back. And they not only that, but they also dive into why he actually got banished, and it was because he found out about the Scream Extractor that Mr. Waternoose and Randall were doing. But besides that, they don't really focus much on it. All he wants is a friend, and I guess that's kind of sweet and cute. But besides that, I just think it's just a fine episode. It's okay. Doesn't do anything big. Abominable Snowman doesn't even come in the last episode to celebrate the thing. Overall, it's an okay episode. Now, Bad Hair Day is actually one of their more recent episodes that actually came out like about a week ago. And after seeing this episode, I was just disappointed with it. I just do not like some of the past episodes that we've done. It just does not make sense with the way the story went and having this hair of one of the Mifter's old friends. And once again, like the other episode, it just, like the Vending Machine episode, it just takes a dumb idea and it just does not work at all. So I would say this is an enjoyable episode, but not good episode. Now, this was actually a pretty good episode, introducing this new sleuth. Well, not really introducing this new sleuth, but getting more time to spend with these new MIFT characters and seeing kind of like the troubles that's going on with Monsters Inc. as it's forming into this laughing company. It just kind of is good. And then, but it also just goes kind of weird, as Mike also kind of feels like looks like he's just going on crack mode, kind of like how my dog does after she goes for a walk to go pee and poop. Like, it just goes crazy. Like, he has this energy drink that can last for like 24 hours, so that way he could power all the canisters so that way he can put power in the city. And it's like, this is just crazy. Like, is this guy on crack? Not saying anything bad, but like, is he? Like, this is just so bizarre and something that I never thought they would do in a Disney Plus show or even a Disney Pixar thing. So overall, it was an enjoyable episode, but I don't like the way they did the whole mic thing. It was just too crazy for me. Now, this was a somewhat good, but not great, sort of fine episode, where they basically introduced a new part of Monsters, Inc. that we never got to see before, as they have this bowling alley that we never really found out that we need to know. But they have a bowling alley in Monsters, Inc., and I guess it's a fine concept for this type of episode. And also you get the introduction of Mike's sort of cousin, something like that. Someone that's kind of better than him. I guess it was funny at first. Like, it was funny how he kind of looks like Mike, except like purple. I guess that was kind of funny. But now it's just like he actually appeared in another episode earlier, like in another episode, like the Bad Hair Day episode he appeared in, and I wasn't expecting him to turn into that episode. Anyways, and then they kind of make this whole plot line where they betrayed him, and like I don't like that, so it was kind of disappointing, and I'm not really sure why I have it this high, but the bowling stuff is pretty cool. Now this episode kind of takes the obvious idea, like every single idea that they have for this episode, they just make it so obvious of what this story is going to lead to, and it happens and it makes it work. Now there was definitely some where Tyler Tuskman tries so many times to become this jokester, because when he went there to Monsters Inc., he was prepared to be this scarer and to be this next top scarer. And now he's a jokester, and he doesn't really know how to do that. And the girl played by Bonnie Hunt denies him. And so it's take your kid to work day in Monsters Inc. And he sees the daughter of the girl that's played by Bonnie Hunt, and he thinks that if he gets her to be fun, that I'm funny, then she'll accept me and probably give me another chance. And that's just such a obvious idea that they would do for this episode, as he wants to succeed in Monsters Inc. And then it leads into the finale of the episode. But beyond that, there are some things that are interesting, and it's just fine. I just think it's okay. So I thought it was a concept that was cool, and it kind of executed well in the finale in the finale of the show. Okay, so for me, I'm sorry, but I don't really remember this episode that much. Honestly, I don't. Let me look it up, because I don't remember a single thing about this episode. The next 3 episodes I remember fully, because those were some of my favorite episodes of the series so far. But right now, I don't remember anything about this episode. All I know is that it's about a cover-up. I'm sorry, let's skip to the next 3. Come on, let's go. So for me, as this was the start of the Monsters at Work series, I thought this was a great entry. First off, it really just brought you back to so much nostalgia of the original Monsters Inc. film, and I love that. The theme song in the beginning was just so classic. It brought me back memories to when I first saw Monsters Inc. Like the opening of that film. Like, I love that. The new kind of jokes in here were funny. The way it kind of continues this world, introducing Tyler Tuskman, Mindy Kalig's character, the girl that played Disgust in Inside Out, and so it kind of meshed and introduced this world that I kind of liked and was kind of prepared of what's coming next. I wasn't treating it like an MCU show, like an MCU Disney Plus TV show, but I was treating it like something that I could care about. And that's kind of what I thought for this episode. though the whole show wasn't something I could care about. But this episode, I could definitely care about. Now, I would say that this is one of my personal favorite episodes because it got mostly everything right. There were so many jokes in here that I was catching, like, there were references to when Boo came along, Ixbay on the Look Bay and the Ag Bay, and then Tyler says, is he speaking French? And then they go to a baseball game, and Mike says, I never liked your mother. And then you go back at the beginning of Monsters, Inc. film, and he's like, when they show that commercial of Monsters, Inc., and he's like, was I in it? Did the whole family see it? It's your mom. I know, what can I say? That the family loves me. The camera loves me. And it's like, it's so funny in the way they do it. But also it kind of develops Mindy Kalig's character and Tyler Tuskman, where Mindy Kalig's character was trying to say that, like, we know it's established that they've been at Monsters University, but Tyler Tuskman does not remember anything about her. And Mindy Kalig tries to explain that when he was at Monsters University, no one noticed her. And honestly, I feel like that's kind of relatable to me, because for the past couple of days, as I've been in PE in middle school in 8th grade, people would just walk by me and wouldn't even notice me. And I don't understand why. I question myself, like, am I not noticeable? Or are you just so focused on your conversations that you're talking about and walking by? I don't know. Maybe it's just because people are being rude and stuff. I don't know. But getting back to this episode, I also liked how they kind of developed their relationship together. And the cleverness of introducing baseball into this universe was also pretty cool. So I love this episode. Now, this episode was exactly what I wanted for the Monsters, Inc. Well, not the Monsters at Work conclusion. It did mostly everything right, including these character arcs with Tyler Tuskman finally becoming a jokester and Mike giving him one last door for him to handle, one last, like, little route for him to do. And then it kind of gives Sully a character arc where it goes back to the first Monsters, Inc., where that scene in Monsters, Inc., where he roared in front of Boo, and you saw the fear in her eyes, and it just gives Sully a little bit of a character arc and a little bit more careability to him, and it also just kind of concludes Tyler and Mindy Kalig's character, as Mindy Kalig's character is now an assistant on the laugh floor, and now they can bring the MIFT spirit to the laugh floor, and I just think that it's just fantastic. I wish they could have brought the Abominable Snowman into here, but like I said, the ending of this episode is kind of like the ending of Monsters, Inc., and they didn't have the Abominable Snowman in that movie at the end of that movie, so they can't really bring it in. But besides that, this episode was everything I wanted to end this show, so that for me is a big A. I probably should have given this an A- though, but for me, this is my favorite episode of Monsters at Work, so that's why it comes in at number 1. So that's my list of all 10 Monsters at Work episodes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram is Marvel6 and my TikTok name is Marvelman. If you guys don't understand those names, head to my back section so you can follow me on all social medias. I'm also Letterboxd. It's the same name as Instagram, Marvel_6_, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.